Hello and welcome. On behalf of everyone at the Polk County Office of Veterans Services, thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Brian Lacey, and on this installment of today's Veteran, we talk about March being National Nutrition Month and some of the steps veterans can take to eating healthier, not only during the month, but all year round. Joining us in studios, Monique LISOWSKI. She's a Lakeland VA Clinic Dietitian. Welcome to the show, Monique.
Thank you.
Also joining us is RENEE WELLBERG. She's from the Tampa VA. She's a clinic dietitian. First time on the show, welcome.
Yes, thank you so much.
And my favorite chef. It's Hillary Markey. She is a registered dietitian, but she's also an incredible chef. We did some incredible things last year on the table here with just a crock pot.
We did, we did.
And we're going to do more today, right?
Yeah, we're going to do something different today.
All right.
So
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, RENEE, I want to start off with you. I want to talk to you a little bit. Tell me a little bit about what a registered dietitian does and how veterans can be helped by what you guys do.
Registered dietitians are the medical nutrition therapy experts in the healthcare field. We're the leaders in dietetics. The Tampa VA sees the value of registered dietitians as they provide a registered dietitian on every veteran's primary care team. So we work with pharmacists, social workers, nurses, doctors. We're part of their interdisciplinary care team at the VA Medical Center, which is great because not every community clinic has a registered dietitian that's available to them. Dietitians are able to help veterans learn how to manage their weight and lead a healthier lifestyle. So we're able to help veterans with many chronic diseases such as weight management. That could include gaining weight if they are chronically ill or losing weight if they're struggling with overweight or obesity. We're able to help them with diabetes, blood sugar control, high cholesterol, high triglycerides. We're able to help them if they're on tube feeding. We're able to do case management with them at home. So we're working with them with a wide variety of chronic conditions. And we like to make it fun. So we do a lot of weight management classes, and we like to involve the veteran in their health care and really help them drive making healthier lifestyle goals that will work and fit for them.
So you've been assigned to a team. If you would like to, say, me as a veteran going, okay, I'm working with this, I'm doing this, do we go through the doctor to get a hold of you? How do we go about doing that? Is there a separate appointment? How's that work?
So a veteran does not need any type of consult, or they don't need to see their provider at all to be able to see a dietitian. They can essentially call or go up to their primary care team clinic at the VA and say, I'd like to see the dietitian. We offer walk-in availability, so they can see if their dietitian's available for a walk-in appointment, or they can go up to the front and schedule an appointment with their dietitian. So there's no consult, no any type of order that's required to see a dietitian. We're there whenever the veteran is ready.
Now, Monique, you're out of the Lakeland office. Talk to me a little bit about your duties and responsibilities there, if we could, please.
So in addition to being able to meet with veterans on a one-on-one basis, we also offer a number of classes. And in fact, in the last year, we've started 2 new programs. The newest one just started in January. It's our Healthy Teaching Kitchen program. And this is one that Chef Hillary Markey does with us. And it's basically a cooking class. So veterans are able to come into the clinic, learn how to make some new recipes. We offer it once a month, but it is on a rotating schedule. So every month there would be a different topic that's discussed. Some examples might be one-pot meals, cooking with herbs and spices as a way to help reduce sodium intake. We also have soups and salads and how to make homemade salad dressings. In addition to that, we've also started a grocery store tour, and this is a really fun program. This is one of my favorite programs. It gives us an opportunity to go out into the community, into a local grocery store, and really help veterans learn how to make healthy food choices when shopping. So there are a number, thousands probably, of food choices to make when we're shopping. It can sometimes get a little overwhelming. So we're there to help them kind of make sense of the food label, what to look for when they're looking at ingredient lists, just really how to make the best choices, but still being mindful of things like cost and budgets.
The Lakeland CBOC much smaller than James A. Haley in Tampa. How many dietitians do we have there? And once again, how do we go about getting a hold of you in Lakeland?
So there are 2 dietitians who work out of the Lakeland Clinic, and one of the dietitians, Tamara, she is available there every Saturday. So that's something that we've been able to start offering in the last year. And if a veteran is interested in seeing us, as Renee said, they can go through their primary care team, but they don't have to. They could essentially just call the clinic and say, I would like to schedule an appointment with my dietitian. Or while they're in the clinic, they can go up to one of the schedulers and get an appointment.
Now, Hillary, one of the things that we heard is that, you know, we as veterans kind of set in our ways, and you guys kind of teach the class, take the effect to where it's fun. And then the other thing that you're doing is making it simple, that, you know, say a one-pot method. Talk to me a little bit about the teachings and what you're trying to do with the veterans.
So part of it is teaching nutrition in a fun way. And with the Healthy Teaching Kitchen, part of the goal is to get people to feel comfortable cooking at home, number one, and number two, to feel comfortable making something at home and making healthy modifications to a recipe. So learning how to cut down on sodium or sugar or fat, or maybe add more fruits and vegetables to get more fiber. So depending on what their health goals are, giving them those tips and techniques so that they can do it on their own at home.
Now, the reason that we're here is March is, you know, National Nutrition Month, and Monique, talk to us a little bit about what that month means. Although it's 1 out of 12, it's something we should really be doing 12 out of 12.
Yeah, so it should be something we should be doing all year round, but specifically in March, that's when we as dietitians celebrate National Nutrition Month, and this is a campaign that has been put together by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. The goal of National Nutrition Month is really to bring focus to the importance of nutrition education and really helping the public to make healthy food choices. Now, here at the VA, on a national level, they have actually come up with their own theme this year. So their theme for National Nutrition Month is Own It, Make Nutrition Work for You. So one of the key messages behind Own It is really trying to encourage and empower our veterans to be able to kind of take control of their health. And one way that we can do that is through food and nutrition and lifestyle change. And that's where we as dietitians can help them.
Renee, what exactly will the James A. Haley Hospital be doing in Tampa to celebrate the event?
Yeah, so James A. Haley has a couple different things that they're going to do. One is on March 11th. We're going to be holding presentations on low carbohydrate diets and the evidence behind them. So that'll be on March 11th at 12:15 at the Primary Care Annex and the main hospital. We're also holding a Food for Thought class. This will be held on March 20th, and the topic is Farm to Table, so helping veterans learn how to grow and use fresh herbs and spices. So that'll be on March 20th at 10 a.m. at the Primary Care Annex. So many different activities for veterans to get involved in.
Now, Hillary, something that Renee said was using the herbs and spices, and if there's one thing that, wow, it's been really tough, is getting away from the sodium. What are some of the things that you want to teach the veterans to get away from that?
So definitely herbs and spices is probably the biggest thing, and learning how to use them is really important. So if people open their spice cabinet and they dump in everything they see up there, it's probably not going to turn out well. It might turn out well, but it probably
You've obviously
will.
never made chili with me.
So part of it is learning the combinations, and then some other tips and tricks to cut down on sodium. So adding a little bit of something like vinegar or a squeeze of lemon or lime juice can give it a little bit of a salty flavor without adding extra sodium. So there's lots of tips and tricks, and we'll go over some too.
Now, Monique, if a veteran is watching the show today and would like to make a few changes to improve their nutrition, what are the top 3 that you would recommend?
So one of the first things that always comes to mind is increasing intake of fruits and vegetables. We know about only 1 out of 10 Americans is actually getting the recommended serving per day, which would be about 2 cups of fruit and 3 cups of vegetables. We know the health benefits of fruits and vegetables. They're nutrient rich, and they may help reduce risks of developing certain illnesses and diseases. Another area of improvement could be with cutting back on added sugar in the diets, such as soft drinks and sweet tea. The American Heart Association recommends for men to have no more than about 9 teaspoons per day, and for women about 6. And to help put that in perspective, 1 can of soda has about 10 teaspoons of added sugar. So right there, that already puts somebody over what the recommended amount of added sugar will be. And finally, I would really encourage them to consider partnering up with their dietitian or getting signed up with a nutrition program so that we can help them reach those goals or any other goals that they may have in mind.
One of the things that I got for Christmas is this Ninja blender, and I've become conscious about even the fruits and vegetables and try and eliminate, say, maybe a meal and then go with the shake in the morning. But some of the vegetables have a lot more sugar. If you're going to, say, do one of these shakes, what should you look at doing?
So you want to try to focus on adding like whole fruits, whole vegetables, trying to stay away from adding in fruit juice, which can be pretty high in sugar to begin with. You can add in some kind of a milk base, such as Greek yogurt, which is a really high protein source. So adding that with some whole fruits, some whole vegetables. You could even add in some flaxseed as well for some healthy fats and a little bit more protein.
Well, ladies, I want to thank you for coming on this morning and sharing the information. And always a pleasure to see you, and look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank
you for having us.
Thank you.
And Hillary, you and I are going to work on something here in the next segment, right?
We are, yep. We're going to be working on some salad dressings.
I've never been the type to ask for help, but I had enough.
Thank you for calling the Veterans Crisis Line. How can I help you?
Life still has its challenges, but my family and I can deal with them better now. Veterans Crisis Line. It's your call.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Captain Joshua Brandon.
Bob Murphy.
Kate Weber.
Jerry Reed. Will Sanchez.
And I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
I thought I was losing my mind.
Everything just fell apart.
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
I felt isolated. I felt alone.
And I made a choice. I made a choice to go seek treatment.
Treatment has definitely helped me. Treatment has turned my life completely around.
It was like the new beginning for me.
If you're tired of dealing and living the way you are right now, then do something about it.
Quit beating yourself up and go ahead and help. You know, that's basically all I can tell you. But you know you need help, so go get it.
Welcome back to today's Veteran. I'm your host, Bryan Lacey, and National Nutrition Month is held annually in March. It focuses attention on the importance of making informed food choices and developing sound eating and physical activity habits. Now, joining us in the studio on this segment of the program, talk a little bit about cooking and cooking demonstrations, is Hillary Markey. She's a registered dietitian at the James A. Haley Veterans Hospital. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, so man, I was telling you, this smells incredible in here, and all we're doing is making salad dressing?
That's all we're doing is making salad dressings,
wow.
Yeah.
So let's tell the folks at home a little bit about your background. How'd you get involved with the VA?
With the VA, so Before I started working at the VA, I worked as a chef, and then I went back to school to become a dietitian, and in that process we have to do an internship. So I did my internship at the VA, and they hired me right after, and then shortly after that we started some cooking classes, and now we've got several going a week.
Talk to me about the importance of the career choice you made and working with veterans and what it means to you.
So my sister is a veteran, and so is her husband. Well, he's still active duty actually, but they're both in the Army, and I noticed a lot of times when people get out of the military in those first couple years, they tend to not change certain habits, and so I've seen a lot of veterans gain weight or develop different health conditions, and a lot of that can be prevented with some dietary changes. So that kind of fueled me to wanting people to eat good, healthy food, but it's got to taste good for people to eat it. So I kind of combined the nutrition dietitian forces with the culinary, and we've started some good classes that way.
Just making a difference in the veterans' lives.
Yep,
right?
yep.
So what do we got planned today?
So we are going to make a couple different types of salad dressings from scratch. So have you ever done that before?
No, I have not, man.
All right.
So unless walking through the store and picking either fat-free or the worst of the lesser of any evil is scratch, then negative.
Okay, so it's really, really simple. And there's a couple of reasons why you would want to make salad dressing from scratch. So when you go to the grocery store and you buy whichever bottle of dressing, it tends to contain a lot of sodium, potentially a lot of sugar, especially if it's fat-free or low fat. And then it also contains a lot of additives, preservatives, and potentially a lot of fat as well. So by making your own at home, you can cut down on a lot of those things and control the amount of salt you put in it, if any. So what we're gonna do is we've got two different setups here that we're gonna work with. So for both of the different types of dressings, the first thing that we wanna add is a fat. So that could be any kind of a liquid oil like vegetable oil, olive oil. It could even be more of a solid fat such as Greek yogurt or just regular plain yogurt. The key being plain. Why do you think that is?
So no additives, no salt, no...
So what happens if I put strawberry banana yogurt into
Sugar.
my...
Yeah.
And it's going to taste funny, right?
Yeah. It's not going to taste like chicken.
No, it's not. So we want to pick a fat, and then the second thing we want to pick is an acid. So that would be something like a citrus juice, lemon, lime, orange. It could be a vinegar.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, yep. And then another one, it could be is tomato juice as well. So those are your two base ingredients, and then the next thing is going to be seasoning.
Okay.
So you got to flavor it somehow. So that's where the fun and the
I see the pepper. I see the garlic.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the final ingredient, which is optional, is called an emulsifier, which is a fancy term, and it basically just means a binder.
Okay.
So I'm sure you're familiar that water or vinegars don't mix with oil very well. You've seen dressings separate. So an emulsifier or a binder will help stick them together.
Okay.
Okay. Plus, mustard tastes good, right?
Yeah.
So it adds a little extra flavor in there for you.
Exactly.
All right, so then there's a couple different methods. The first one we're gonna do is the blender method.
Okay.
So this is where we're gonna put everything in the blender, and we're gonna hit go, and it's gonna blend, and then we're done.
Okay.
The problem I have with this is I don't like to clean. I'm kind of lazy.
Yeah.
So then
I have a dishwasher.
So you have to clean the blender after. So I'll show you the container method next, which is where we put everything in a container and shake it. Yep. And then there's the traditional method, which you see all the old school people doing, where you put everything in a bowl except the oil and you whisk it.
Yeah.
And then you slowly drizzle in your oil.
Okay.
We're not going to do that, though.
Yeah.
It's too much work.
Yeah, that's a little too classy.
A little too much work. We'll let the French restaurants do that one, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so the first dressing that we're going to make is a French dressing.
Okay.
Do you like French dressing?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So this one is really a favorite. This dressing actually came about because the veterans kept asking for it in the cooking classes, so this is one that they've kind of helped me start doing. So what I'm going to have you do is pour everything in. This is our blender here. So our first thing is 3/4 cup of tomato or vegetable juice, and it has to be low sodium.
All right.
So right on in the blender. And our second thing is going to be 2 tablespoons, and in this case we have olive oil. And next is 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar. This one actually happens to be apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
Either one works. All right, now this one's going to be kind of messy for you. Then we have our mustard, which is, do you remember what it does?
It's an emulsifier.
An emulsifier.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So you
Triple
scrape
Scrabble
that right
score
in.
word.
I know, right? That's your fun trivia word for the day.
Exactly. Tell me I don't pay attention.
You knew you were going to get quizzed, right?
Exactly.
Yep. put that in there so it doesn't tip over.
Okay.
And then next is our garlic, and you actually might need to use that spoon again, huh?
This smells incredible.
Mm-hmm. I know we need that smell-o-vision to get invented,
Exactly.
right? All right. And then next is fresh thyme. So this is going to be about a half a tablespoon to a tablespoon.
Okay.
I might have been a little heavy on my measurement there.
That's all right.
So what I wanted to show really quick, I did bring some fresh thyme in, and if you've never used it before, all you have to do to get the little leaves off is to pull down and strip it.
Okay.
So it's super simple, and it's just because the stalks tend to be a little bit woody. So we'll dump that in.
Whole thing?
Yep.
All right.
All right. And then our last ingredient is going to be 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper.
Okay.
And if black pepper is something that bothers you, you can always leave it out. There's always that option.
Okay.
All right, so we didn't add any salt in here.
Nope.
We used low sodium tomato juice. And we didn't add any sugar either, did we?
No, we did not.
All right, so we're off to a good start. So all we're gonna do is put that on our blender here. And then we're just gonna hit the on button and it's gonna get loud for a minute.
Okay. It's not that loud.
Not too loud.
No.
Nope.
So is that like the highest speed you go on, or
Well,
does it matter?
this blender only has low and high. So
Okay.
low and then high. But for this dressing, it's really just about tearing up the leaves and mixing it together.
All right.
And this dressing in particular works best with the blender method. So you can see we've got our dressing in there.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
And that's the French?
This is the French dressing.
Okay.
Yep. Can you smell it?
Oh, yeah.
Smells good, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now the smells just got even stronger in here. So we'll put this on our salad in a minute.
Okay.
So our next dressing that we're going to make is the simple balsamic vinaigrette.
Okay.
And this is my favorite method to use. This is the container method.
All right.
And this is the best one because you just dump it all in. And so the first thing we're going to do is 1/3 cup of balsamic. Yep.
All right.
And you can use any vinegar. It doesn't necessarily have to be balsamic.
Okay.
And then our next is 2 tablespoons of oil, and this one is olive. It's like you're a pro at this.
Yeah.
Then
I might have learned something from the last time I
tips
did
and
it.
tricks. Oh, and look at it. I got another spoon for you so you can use a
Oh
clean
yeah,
one.
we don't want to taint the. Man, that's a lot of garlic.
Yeah, 2 tablespoons. So this is the pre-minced garlic that's packed in water.
Yep.
If you use fresh garlic that you mince at home, you're going to want to maybe use a little bit less unless you really like garlic.
Okay.
If you're substituting a dry garlic, you're going to want to use even less because when you dry stuff, it shrinks. So think of like a grape to a raisin.
Okay.
And these are all the different little tricks that you learn when you come to the cooking classes too. All right, so we've got our mustard, our garlic, and then we've got a little pepper going in there. And it is 1/8 teaspoon.
Okay.
And then we've got 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and this is optional to leave out.
Okay. I noticed no emulsifier here.
We did, we put mustard in
Oh
there.
yeah, I forgot. Oh, I
we
forgot
missed
about
it.
Yeah, yeah. Now what's this?
So this is a salt-free garlic herb seasoning. So it's a mixture of garlic and onion powder and then some herbs, but salt-free is key.
All right.
All right, so that's it, everything's in there. Now the key with this is
To make sure you close the top because I don't want it all over.
yes, so you want to make sure you have a tight fitting lid and then
Yeah.
you just pick it up
There's something about the big kids' clothes, you know what I mean?
and then you just shake it as hard as you can. Turn it all different directions, shake it like crazy. So this is your little bonus exercise for the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Got me making steps in.
So the other thing I love about this is when you're done, if you have any left over, you just stick it in the fridge and there is literally 0 cleanup.
Wow, that's tasty.
You get a little on your thumb
Yeah,
there.
it's like
All right, so those are our super simple dressings. There's lots of different dressings that you can make. And so it's really important to just kind of remember lower in sodium. Try not to add too much if you are adding any. Keep your sugar low. And then the other thing with the acid and the fat ratio, traditionally you use 2 to 3 parts fat to 1 part acid.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of adjusted those levels and flip-flopped them a little bit, so it's 2 parts acid to 1 part fat, and that is to kind of help cut down on the fat, and it also keeps the dressing a little bit thinner, so we use a little bit less of it. Okay?
That is a great lesson. We got just a little bit of time left, and what I want you to do is stress to our veterans out there how easily accessible the dietitians are to ask questions, are available for any kind of information. Talk about how they can get a hold of you.
So wherever you're at, there's pretty much a dietitian there. So if you're at one of the CBOCs, you can go to the schedulers at the front desk. You can go, or I'm sorry, if you're at one of the outpatient clinics like Lakeland or Zephyr Hills, you can go to the front desk, ask the clerks. You can ask your doctor, they'll put a consult in. Sometimes if you're talking with the nurse and the dietitian doesn't have someone with them and you want to see them, they've even walked people over just like that, a couple minutes in between.
All right, I'm ready to work on this salad. So the sooner we get out of here, the sooner we can work on this. So,
we can eat it.
Yeah, yeah. You want to work the? Here, I'll let you drizzle that on.
Are we going?
All right, that's good.
All right. So we'll do just a little bit of that, and then if you want to hand me the different vegetables, we've got some tomatoes and some onions and carrots. You can just dump them right in.
Okay.
So if you were not going to eat this right away, you wouldn't put the dressing on until right before you eat it. But since we're gonna have a little snack here.
It's what's for breakfast,
that's
right?
Right.
Should we go with onions for breakfast? Sure.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, that looks incredible.
And then if you want to hand a plate, we'll get 2 plates here, and then we'll be ready to have our healthy breakfast, right?
Nice. Oh, that looks beautiful.
Yeah, and put some good vegetables on top. There we go.
Nice. Well, Hillary, I want to thank you for coming on and joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. And that's going to do it for today's veteran. If you need more information on March being National Nutrition Month, you can call the Lakeland CBOC at 863-701-2470, extension 4120, or the James A. Haley Veterans Hospital at 813-972-2000, extension 8050. Or you can check them out on the web at www.tampa.va.gov. That's going to do it for today's edition of Today's Veteran. And I want to thank our guests, RENEE WELLBERG, MONIQUE LISOWSKI, and Hillary Markey. But most of all, I want to thank you for joining us. Remember, for help and information regarding claims, benefits, and services available to veterans and their families, call the Polk County Veterans Service Office at 863-534-5220 or log on to the Polk County website at polk-county.net. I'm Bryan LACEY, standing in for Tim Kirkhart, and we will see you next month.